Yeah, it was a good week. We went 2-0-1, going back to a week ago Friday, beat a good Butler team, turned around and went to Marquette and got a win in the 107th minute. And then opened up Big Ten play with a TV match, Big Ten network match against Michigan State. As you'd expect in a Big Ten game, it was a tight affair. We gave them up on a corner, which was a little disappointing. We knew they would be good on those with our size and strength. Would like to have handled that situation a little better. But I thought the second half and much of the overtimes, we really played some very good soccer. Ignacy Marquez scored his first goal as a Badger. And so I feel like we're moving in the right direction. This week will provide a couple tests as well, starting with UW Milwaukee tomorrow night at home, and then heading out to Piscataway, New Jersey, to play the Scarlet Knights, who are coming off a big win against the Hoosiers. So looking forward to this week with the guys.
Go ahead and take questions.
Your younger guys so far. I know that's always something we look at through a season, how things go from start to middle to finish. Where do you see them so far?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the first part, Todd.
Just asking about the development of some of the younger players, what you've seen from them so far.
Jack Finnegan got the game winner, got the game winning assist against a Butler. So he had a very good week. We had to play him a little bit out of position with Timmy Bialik being out. So he played some in the midfield instead of usually he's a forward for us. Dawson Gully is providing some good minutes as well. He's a young player. And, Ethan Chung did very well against Butler. We didn't play him a lot against Marquette and kind of saved him from Michigan State and gave us some good minutes as well. But, as you guys know, we're a pretty experienced group. Some of our new players are 22, 23, 24 years old. And we got to rely on those guys who have brought, a little bit more maturity to the game. And a guy like Ignacy who can change the game. In one instance, he showed it the other day, with 10 seconds left in the second overtime. Noah Mielek found him and he hit a ball off the post. If that ball goes in, the fans are ready to jump the fence and go crazy. So, there's a lot to like. We think we can be better. I think the guys aren't happy yet, but as I reminded them, 2-0-1 in a week of college soccer in a 7-day period is a pretty good week worth of work.
Hey, Coach. So Carter Abbott last year, kind of in the middle of the season, took control of that starting goalkeeper position. And this year, he's kind of held in. He's had a very strong season so far. Can you speak, what he brings, what you saw in him last year to make that change and, what he's provided this year as the goalkeeper?
Carter's been playing well. We've got a real good goalkeeping core all the way through all four of them. Undecided yet whether we'll make a change for tomorrow night. Adair has been looking good in training. He has played one match for us, a full match for us. And Carter's made some great stops. Carter is a sophomore eligibility. And one of the reasons we brought Adair in was to compete for the starting role. Little bit older. He was in the Israeli military for 3 years, and he's got national team experience with Israel. And so we may make a change there, see how it looks tomorrow night with Adair in the goal for us.
You mentioned Adair, but also Ignacy and Inaki Baron. Your team's had a little bit of, foreign flair in the team in, recent years. It's a trend I think you see around the country, especially with, Marshall last season winning the national title with, I believe, 10 foreign starters on their, their starting 11. So what do you think these guys that you bring in from outside the country, what do you think they bring to the team, either in terms of, experience, playing the game at a different level of playing the game, in a different setting, or just in terms of, raw ability, what you see in them when you scout them?
I think college soccer has changed. A lot of the top American kids are maybe opting not to go to school anymore. So that's changed the dynamic, as well as the internationals. There's a lot of people that are helping them figure out what college in the United States would look like for them. And there are some very high level players. You're right. Teams like Marshall have gone predominantly international. As I've said in the past, I don't think we'll ever be predominantly international at the University of Wisconsin. I think we're a pretty regionally based team. A lot of guys from Chicago, some kids from in-state. But I think when you can add, and this goes back to Tomislav Zadru, who was Big Ten Attacking Player of the Year in 2012 or 13. You look at some of the internationals that we brought, and it's steadied the group and given us a little different look at times. And I think this group is no different. Our center back is from Germany, one of our goalkeepers from Israel. Two of our important midfielders are from Spain. We've got Henry Tophoven, who's been fighting some injury stuff, from Germany as well. And then we brought in Arn Saverson from Iceland. And like I said, I'd never want to, put a whole team of internationals on the field. I think we're an American university, but when you can add quality within the group and they're the right type of kids, it does something for the American players as well. And I think that's a big positive that we've always had with our internationals. They become friends with our American kids. They have different life experiences. In fact, Arn the other day did the cool down with the team and did all the stretching in Icelandic, which the guys were having a little chuckle about. So, we live in a world economy too. You're coming out of the University of Wisconsin, you're going to meet a lot of international kids on campus. Why not have them in your locker room as well if they add something to the personality of the group?
And Coach, you mentioned, that later this week, Rutgers coming up as, your second in conference match of the year. It's a team that really this year has kind of blossomed. I don't think many people had them as one of the, at minimum, the elite contenders of the Big Ten. But, they've looked the part so far in their non-conference schedule, and then, knocking off Indiana on the road. What do you expect to see from them? What do you expect to, how do you expect to game plan for them?
Jimmy McElderry's done a very nice job. I think he's in his third or fourth year, so it's mostly his team now. He's brought in some internationals as well, and then he's doing a good job keeping some of the local talent home in New Jersey. They're a good squad. They were good last spring. I know they're improved again. I've not gone into depth. I'm looking forward to our next game tomorrow night, but all eyes will focus after tomorrow night on Rutgers and the trip out there. And we're expecting another great battle. I mean, every game in the Big Ten is close. You look across the league, Rutgers goes into Bloomington, Indiana, and gets a win. Penn State, Maryland holds serve at home. We tie a pretty good Michigan State team at home. Every point is valuable in the Big Ten when it's all said and done. And we've got some big teams to play still on our schedule.
All right, that's all I got. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
I have one for you. You talked about 2-0 week, 2-0 in 1 week. And I mean, watching the games, you're probably a short distance away from being 7-0 this year, really. Does the team feel that confidence? Like, obviously, I assume there's a good feeling around the locker room and on the pitch now, and heading into every game knowing you could beat anybody right now.
Can you hear me, Paul?
I can now. Did you hear me?
Yeah, my internet went unstable for a second. It's back.
Okay.
Confidence is massive, and if you take away a few minutes of soccer, and that's how close games are, though, and I have to remind our guys, you take away a couple of minutes here and there, we could easily be 7-0, and I think the guys do know that. But yeah, it's a healthy situation to also go 2-0-1 in a week. And as I reminded them Saturday after practice, guys, I was disappointed because I think we could have won the game against Michigan State. We outshot them, ended up even on corners. But I'm also realistic. We had a great week. If we continue to go 2-0 or 2-0-1 every week for the rest of the season, we're going to be in a really good place. And there's little pieces I know the guys want to improve on, and we know we can do a little better in some moments. But we are playing some very good soccer. We're having plenty of the attack. We're not sitting in and just countering. We're on the road in the Big Ten. We're going to come up in some hostile environments. I think Michigan State would have said that. There were a lot of students at our game Friday night. It was a great atmosphere to play college soccer. That ball goes underneath the crossbar with 10 seconds left, which when you're Ignacy, you probably are a little bummed out that you didn't finish the play. It erupts. And all of a sudden now you're looking at back-to-back overtime wins in a 3-0 week. we are right there, Paul. And, we've got work to do. We've got to get sharper for tomorrow. We've got to get sharper for Friday. But I know the belief is in this team, and we've got a lot of quality players to choose from at this point.